Right now at 6, a Carl Junction intersection crash sends 2 drivers to the hospital and results in a felony DWI charge for one of the drivers.
And we've got some patchy fog out there this morning. We've got some thunderstorm chances later this week, and our temperatures climbing. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, police body cameras capture a deadly 30-second encounter at a St. Louis airport where officers killed a man who refused to drop a knife.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. At 6 a.m., I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Monday, and it is January the 5th. Happy Monday to you. So I was looking up National Day calendar.
Yes.
It's it's not happy. Okay, let me rephrase this. It's Thank God It's Monday Day. And that, among other things, it's Whipped Cream Day, it's National Whipped Cream Day, and I listed off some other weird things that this Monday is. But that one struck me as interesting, so I looked at it a little closer. It's only for the first Monday of each new year. The first Monday of the new year is supposed to be National Thank God It's Monday Day because it's supposed to help you kick off positive Mondays.
I don't think I've really met anyone who's been that excited for a Monday.
I'm still not.
Except for maybe some parents who've been with their kids all weekend and they're like, I love them so much. I need 5 seconds of peace. I am so excited to sit at my desk at work and not be bothered by a 5-year-old.
Yeah. That I get. So, but yeah, it's supposed to, I guess, help you have positive Mondays through the year. So, we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna be positive for Monday. It's
We're
Monday.
so positive. Yay!
Oh, the sun's gonna shine today. It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Is the sun gonna shine today, Chris?
Oh, it'll come out tomorrow too. Oh boy.
Okay.
I can only do that for so long. Let's take a look outside, shall we? Oh my goodness, here's downtown Pittsburgh. Doesn't it look wonderful? It's just, oh boy, so great. All right, that's enough of that. It is a great day because some people are going to be at home and be like, who's the new weather guy that sounds psychotic? It's just the same old psychotic weather guy. We do have some patchy fog out there, though. Take a look. Fog, not zero visibility downtown Pittsburgh, but reduced. And then, of course, you come to the Joplin side of things. Our Westco camera, 7th and range line, it's clear. We head back up to the KDOT camera, 69-400. You can see that haze is kind of built in front of the camera here. Originally, you could kind of only see it off in the distance, so fog's picked up a bit. But that also shows, you get those varying visibilities out there. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. Like I said, this is camera's perception. It's got an autofocus because I've watched it do it. It's got all these lights, distractions. I'm sure the lens probably could use some rain for a nice wash down. And so it makes it look like it's foggy, but it is not foggy because it'd be also very strange if only at that one intersection it was foggy. Something might be up. Most of the fog has been confined along and to the north of the I-44 corridor through this morning. So stretching into Missouri, virtually all of southeast Kansas and most of our part of northeastern Oklahoma, we have reduced visibilities. Now Pittsburgh, again, the lowest at just over 2 miles. And again, usually our dense fog offenders are the 54 corridor, but not this morning. That also includes the southern portions of Crawford County into western Barton County and northern Cherokee County. So across the region, again, slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. And, of course, always just watch out for those rapidly changing visibilities. It can change pretty quickly from mile to mile at times. We're sitting at 44 in Joplin, 42 in Pittsburgh. And across the region, temperatures looking like this. A little colder in Stockton at 34. In fact, that is now the coldest reading we have and one of the only 30s. The only other one is Nevada right now at 39. Most of us are in the low to mid 40s across the area, so not one particular warm spot. We've got a lot of 45s, though. Those are our warmest temperatures on this map. Breeze already starting to pick up. We'll continue to do so. So we do have some lower wind chills out there, upper 30s for most of us. And, of course, Stockton, Greenfield, a little colder, low 30s out there with those wind chills. South winds will be gusting today. We'll have a mix of clear to partly cloudy skies across the region. Otherwise, we will be dry. We will be warmer as temperatures climb into the upper 40s by 9, near 60 by noon, and highs mid-upper 60s out there with south winds gusting upwards of 30. We do have some storm chances later this week, and we're starting to look a little more promising for at least some meaningful rainfall to help with the drought situation. We'll take a look at that and tell you how long the 60s will last here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A Joplin man has been charged with a felony DWI after a serious accident Saturday evening. Shortly after 7 p.m. on Saturday, Carl Junction Fire Department was alerted to a rollover crash on West 7th at Black Cat Road. A pickup and passenger car were located at the northwest corner of the intersection. Missouri State Highway Patrol reports that the driver of a 2015 Jeep Renegade was traveling north through the intersection, failed to yield, and was struck by a westbound pickup truck. The driver of the pickup suffered minor injuries and was transported to the hospital via private vehicle. The driver of the Jeep, 36-year-old Zachary Teeter, was rushed to the hospital for serious injuries and after an investigation was cited for felony DWI. He was arrested but is still receiving ongoing care for his injuries. The trial of a former police officer who responded when a gunman attacked an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, gets underway today. Adrian Gonzalez is facing charges of child abandonment and endangerment. Prosecutors allege Gonzalez failed to engage, distract, or delay the teenage gunman when he opened fire at Robb Elementary School in 2022. The shooting killed 19 children and 2 teachers. Gonzalez denies any wrongdoing. His lawyer says Gonzalez actively responded to the threat. The trial is taking place in Corpus Christi. It was moved out of Uvalde County because of the impact the shooting had on the community. Police stopped a semi-tractor trailer on I-70 Saturday afternoon for a routine inspection. The driver was en route from Joplin, Missouri to Richmond, Indiana. Police searched the vehicle, finding 309 pounds of cocaine in the sleeping area of the truck. The 2 occupants were taken into custody without incident and transported to Putnam County Jail. ICE deportation holds were also placed on both suspects. Released video shows the moment an officer-involved shooting turned deadly at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. The body camera footage stems from an incident in November involving a man armed with a knife. David Amalati walks us through the video, which is graphic.
This is the moment St. Louis Airport Police responded to a man, later identified as 31-year-old Darius Kennedy, near a bathroom in Terminal 1 last November. Police say Kennedy was told to leave the airport, but refused, and pulled a knife from his jacket.
Drop the knife!
You can hear police start to yell for Kennedy to drop the knife.
Drop the knife!
The video shows Kennedy ignoring those commands and running toward an officer. Another officer uses a taser, but Kennedy doesn't stop. Here you can see from the perspective of the officer firing his gun 4 times, striking Kennedy. All of this happening in less than 30 seconds.
Put your hands up now!
After he falls, the taser officer can be heard shouting at Kennedy.
I'll blow your head off.
The officer then hits him in the back of the head with his firearm. St. Louis County Police say officers attempted life-saving measures, though we were not provided video of that effort. Kennedy was pronounced dead at the scene. It was later confirmed he was unhoused. We know no officers were hurt. The shooting is still under investigation, and all findings will be sent to the St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office.
One of our biggest stories nationally, an attack carried out in Venezuela early Saturday morning by U.S. forces. President Donald Trump says the U.S. has captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro after a large-scale strike on Caracas. Trump announced on Truth Social that Maduro and his wife were removed from Venezuela by U.S. forces and are now aboard the USS Iwo Jima en route to New York. He told Fox News he believes no Americans were killed in the operation, though some were injured, and he confirmed a helicopter was hit, but no aircrafts were lost. A man in Oklahoma City who has been behind bars for nearly 30 years has received a new judge after several transfers and recusals. Alyssa Jones has more on the story.
Richard Glossip walked in the courtroom Monday after months of questions surrounding which Oklahoma County judge would take his case. Glossip has spent nearly 3 decades behind bars for a murder-for-hire plot and the death of Barry Van Treese in 1997. He spent years on Oklahoma's death row, surviving 9 execution dates before his conviction was thrown out. Now Oklahoma's Attorney General Gentner Drummond is retrying Glossip for murder, but his case has been at a standstill.
Well, it's important for Mr. Glossip, of course, because he's been sitting in prison, almost executed 9 times, for a crime that he's never even had a fair trial for. all this time.
Court records show transfer after transfer of judges, all recusing themselves from the case or being asked to recuse by Glossip. In July, Judge Coyle was the first on the case, but she transferred it in August. In September, Judge Stallings was on the case until Glossip's team filed to recuse her. That was granted in October. In November, the case went before another judge, but Glossip's team asked for a random assignment of a judge. The court then moved the case again, but it was transferred for a sixth time. Finally, in early December, this motion was filed by the district judge over Oklahoma County, saying all district judges assigned to the criminal docket of Oklahoma County have recused, and there's no further process or procedure for the selection and assignment of a trial judge in murder one cases. So, Judge Mai, who oversees the civil docket, not criminal cases, was randomly assigned the case. Today, she set dates for the case to finally move forward, a moment Glossip's team says they've been waiting for months.
We're anxious to get the case moving forward, but there are a lot of things that happen between now and the trial date.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Venezuelans in South Florida celebrate in the streets as news of the president's removal brings new hope for their homeland. Plus, Myles Garrett sets the all-time single-season sack record while the Browns beat Cincinnati on a last-second field goal. And tracking storms in the 4 states, Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, Ukraine and Russia continue exchanging attacks in the new year. On Friday, Ukrainian authorities say a shopping mall was heavily damaged in an overnight drone attack in Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia region. Officials say a first strike damaged several cars and residential building, while a second hit the mall, igniting a fire. Thankfully, no deaths were reported. This attack comes as the United States continues its efforts to end the ongoing war between the countries. In South Florida, years of anxiety, separation, and worries of the future are now giving way at the news of the removal of Venezuela's president. Venezuelans in South Florida celebrated new hope for their native homeland Saturday. Businesses frequented by or run by Venezuelans were expecting heavier demand as happiness poured out into the streets over the developments. While locals don't have full knowledge of the future of their country, they say life feels different now and is turning in a positive direction. And today in sports, the Browns edge out the Bengals in a dramatic finish 20-18. Devin Bush started it off with a 97-yard pick six, giving Cleveland an early lead. Sam Webb added to it with a 47-yard scoop and score, putting the Browns up 14-6. Joe Burrow responded for Cincinnati, connecting with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase for touchdowns, giving the Bengals a late 18-17 lead. But the night belonged to Myles Garrett. His fourth quarter sack set the all-time single-season record with 23. Andre Szmyt sealed it with a 49-yard field goal as time expired, delivering the win for Cleveland. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Raiders in Las Vegas for the regular season final, but nothing but pride on the line. Travis Kelce may have played his final game as a Chief, and it came down to the wire. In a low-scoring battle, the Raiders took a 9-6 lead on a 55-yard field goal from Daniel Carlson. The Chiefs answered with a field goal, and Harrison Butker put them up by one with just over a minute left, but the Raiders had the last word. Carlson hit a 60-yard field goal as time expired, lifting Las Vegas to a 14-12 win and handing Kansas City its sixth straight loss. The Denver Broncos have clinched the top seed in the AFC, securing a first-round bye. The Patriots finish right behind and will host the Chargers, meaning either Drake May or Justin Herbert will get their first playoff win. The Bills will head to Jacksonville for a matchup of teams, both featuring Josh Allen, and the Houston Texans will travel to face the AFC North champ. It all adds up to be an intriguing opening weekend for the NFL playoffs. The NFC playoff field is set, with the Seattle Seahawks clinching the top seed in a first-round bye. The Bears will host their rival Packers in an NFC North showdown, while the East champion Eagles face the San Francisco 49ers. And despite a losing record, the Carolina Panthers get to host the Los Angeles Rams in the wild card round. That's it for sports. Still to come, measles cases surge to levels not seen since 1992 as the CDC warns the U.S. could lose its elimination status. Plus, we're tracking storms in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your Monday forecast. We've got some great supplies. We're going to make a sweet treat.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. We are going to get through this. It is Monday, right?
Yes.
And I've really dropped the ball. It is National Whipped Cream Day. I brought no whipped cream. So we're going to power through this all the way.
It still looks delicious.
It does. And it's early in the new year.
Yeah.
So we thought, you know, in a lot of recipes, a lot of things, almonds are considered a lucky nut. I don't know why. I didn't do that deep dive, but they're in a lot of recipes, and especially when we come to the Chinese New Year, you'll find a lot of recipes that include almonds, and I figure we need all the luck we can get. So we're going to start off with our good luck almond pound cake this week. And there's a couple ingredients in here that are a little out of the ordinary, so we want to talk about them first. They're probably something you may not already have in the cabinet. And the first one is cake flour. Cake flour is a little bit different than our regular all-purpose flour or bread flour because of the protein content. It's a much lower protein, so it doesn't make that gluten in the recipe like regular flour. And so that gives us a lighter, fluffier texture. So that's why you'll see it a lot of times in those softer, really pillowy recipes like angel food cakes and things like that. If you don't have cake flour, you can actually add a little bit of cornstarch to all-purpose flour and then sift it, and then sift it one more time to really lighten it and actually kind of aerate it, which is the whole purpose there. So that one's a little bit different, and ordinarily in all of our recipes we go with large eggs, and this time we're going to be working with jumbo eggs. So those are going to give us obviously a lot higher fat content to go with our butter and our cream cheese. So this is going to be a really, really nice, dense, rich cake.
Yes.
That would actually be perfect with a little whipped cream on the side. So we're going to start with some cream cheese and butter together in our bowl here, and I've just started this process to whip this together and get it really nice and fluffy. Beautiful. And then to that I'm going to add some just regular white granulated sugar. We're going to put this together again. We want it to get really creamy, really fluffy, and make sure that all of that sugar is well combined and no grittiness left behind. When we come back, we're going to show you a little bit with that cake flour and how we incorporate that into our recipe along with those eggs. And we're going to top this off with a really yummy glaze that's going to be that topping, some slivered almonds. It's going to be a beautiful cake for gifting if you want to, but just one that you can slice and freeze and eat whenever you want.
I can't wait to see how this comes together, Lori. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:25, coming up on 6:26 on this Monday morning. And I mentioned, you know, according to National Day calendar, this is supposed to be, thank God, it's Monday Day, because it's supposed to be the first Monday of the new year. So far, none of us here are celebrating that particular holiday at this point, but maybe you can, and maybe it'll be a great Monday for you. We still have some pretty dense fog into parts of Crawford County and into western Barton and northern Cherokee counties. Pittsburgh's visibility has dropped even lower now, reporting about 1.5 miles out there. And again, patchy fog has been commonplace this morning, really along and north of the I-44 corridor. So if you are traveling, again, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them, slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going, especially if maybe you're returning to work for the first time in the last week or two even. I know some folks you get pretty lucky, or you don't have to work during the holidays. Maybe you have a few weeks off during the holidays, so take it easy this morning. Outside of that, though, breezy, but otherwise a very spring-like day. If this was March, if we were coming out of spring break, this forecast would be considerably more believable, but we're not. And it's not March, but we have got opportunity for clear to partly cloudy skies, and that'll be the case today, tonight, into tomorrow. And this is what I mean. Like, some of you may have no clouds, others may have some. So it's a mix of clear to partly cloudy skies, depending on where you are today, tonight, and tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're actually going to start the day, again, with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies in some cases, maybe even just straight up clear skies. But as we start heading in late morning, afternoon, clouds will begin to increase Winds will shift back out of the south. We'll start to see some rain chances. So what are we looking at here? Late Wednesday, while currently not showing up on this particular future track, we do have an opportunity, say after 6, or I'm going to say honestly, after about maybe 8 or 9 on Wednesday, for a few isolated to widely scattered showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Then after about 8, 9 a.m. on Thursday, that's when this front lifts further north, and we'll start to see shower and thunderstorm development along this front, pushing through the area as we head through the day Thursday and eventually into the evening and late night hours before it begins to wrap up late Thursday, very early Friday. Now, we've talked about Thursday for a while. Again, right now, as of this morning, the newest update says that our severe risk for Thursday has dropped significantly, but we still want to keep an eye on it just in case things change. But the one thing that's changed that's certainly a positive is there's more agreement that we're actually going to get some meaningful rainfall. Maybe not everybody, but I think most of us have at least a pretty decent shot of some actual rain that should help out with our drought situation as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday. We're in the mid-40s to start today. We'll go about the mid-50s by 11 with our highs into the mid to upper 60s, upper 40s overnight tonight. South winds today gusting to 30. Southwest winds tonight gusting to 25. West winds 5 to 10 tomorrow, mid-60s. 60s continue through Thursday until that front pushes through. Brings us some showers, some thunderstorms out there, and temperatures dropping into the weekend and next week. Still, for the most part, technically above average, but much cooler than where we're going to be over the next few days. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. For the first time in more than 30 years, the U.S. has surpassed more than 2,000 measles cases. That's according to new data from the CDC. The last time more than 2,000 cases were reported in 1 year was in 1992. Ongoing outbreaks, including in South Carolina, continue to add dozens of cases each week. Measles has been considered eliminated in the U.S. since 2000. However, the U.S. is at risk of losing that elimination status if cases continue to grow through late January. It's a critical part of overall health, but many people overlook mental and emotional well-being. With a new year, experts urge everyone to renew their focus on this important part of health, which affects how we think, feel, and act.
When you're sick, you take care of your body. But what about your mind?
We live in very perilous times with lots of stressors around us.
Psychiatrist Dr. Selma Tanovic with El Camino Health says mental health is just as important as physical health, and not to think of them as separate entities, instead to think of both as one.
Taking care of your body, of your physical body, can also help taking care of your minds.
Tanovic says that means eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, getting enough good quality sleep, all can help overall health.
People who have been exposed to chronic stress not only can develop mental health conditions, but they can also develop different physical conditions such as high blood pressure, heart conditions, and other metabolic abnormalities.
Other ways to prioritize mental health in 2026: stay socially connected. Tanovic says we're social beings and need others, and engage in healthy hobbies. She says it helps our brains process stress, especially ones with repetitive movements like knitting. And in a busy world, listen to your body and set your own pace.
It's okay to stop, and it's okay to make a break, and it's okay to go slowly at times when it's needed.
Finally, Tanovic says to recognize when you need mental health help and see a doctor.
What is important to know is that there is no shame.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Missouri's Freeze It program expands to 8 rural communities with a new grant to teach residents how to reduce food waste.
And patchy fog, some of it dense, as you can see here in downtown Pittsburgh, building in across the area. Thunderstorm chances later this week. A look at your forecast coming up.
Four States' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:34. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday, January the 5th. Happy Monday to everybody. So it's been a very Monday.
Yes.
We told you already on the national calendar day, it's supposed to be National Thank God It's Monday Day to help you kick off Mondays for the new year the right way.
And it's like our technology is wanting to just, like the whole technology world, just wanting to show us like, it's definitely Monday. Remember it.
It actually looks really sad. It's got its head down. So we have, 5 cameras out here, and one of them has decided it's not celebrating. Thank God it's Monday day, and it keeps resetting. And now, like when it resets, it's pointed down. It looks so ashamed and so sad and disappointed with itself. But that's okay. We know it happens. It's technology. I don't know how many things fail sometimes.
And anywhere. Being able to laugh about it is what kind of helps make it a better Monday.
That's true.
We're going to make it a good Monday.
That's how we do National Thank God It's Monday days. Even when something goes wrong, you shrug it off, you laugh it off, and you go, we're fine, we're good. All right. Let's take a look outside, because this is something, though, that you do need to be aware of. Take a look. Downtown Pittsburgh, that fog has increased. Again, it's not quite zero visibility, but you can see visibility has dropped in the downtown area. And bear in mind, too, with our cameras, this is only one perspective of the fog, okay? So you need to be cautious out there. Then you come over across state lines to the Missouri side. Now, obviously, Joplin and Pittsburgh are not next door to each other necessarily, but again, in the grand scheme of things, the distance isn't that big. And our Westco camera at 7th and Range Line, you can see clear. Then we head back up. 171 this is looking east, back toward Missouri. You can see the fog is thickened up here as well. And then we head back over to the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, Joplin. Things look fine. It's a little blurry, a little out of focus. It happens. It's seeing all these lights, but there's no actual fog in Joplin right now. Here's the thing. It's all really centered, the densest fog is centered right over Crawford County, stretching into Pittsburgh, northern Cherokee County, and into western Barton County. It looks like just to the west of I-49. So along and north of the I-44 corridor in general is where we've been seeing these reduced visibilities. So again, slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you got them. Give yourself time to get where you're going. Temperatures this morning, for this time of year at least, mild. 44 in Joplin, 41 in Pittsburgh. Across the area, most of us are in the low to mid 40s. We do have some 30s. We got Stockton, the cold spot at 38, Chautauqua at 39. And again, taking a quick glance, there's no real one warm spot. We have a lot of 45s in the southeast Kansas, parts of northeast Oklahoma. Those are our warmest numbers out there. Winds, though, are increasing. That's got wind chills for most of us into the upper 30s, with the exception of our northeastern counties. Stockton and Greenfield's been much cooler up there with those wind chills. 28 is what it feels like in Stockton right now. A breezy day ahead of us with clear to partly cloudy skies, depending on where you are, because bear in mind, this is a fairly large map here. And so some of you may have nothing, some of you may have some clouds. But other than that, a fantastic day in store for us indeed. We're going to go near 50 by 9 o'clock this morning, about 60 by noon, mid-upper 60s for our highs today. And again, south winds 10 to 20 sustained with gusts to 30 miles an hour out there. We will continue to remain in the 60s for the next few days, and then thunderstorm chances begin building in by late Wednesday into Thursday. Details on that and a lot more in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. During the holidays, food waste goes up with bigger parties and bigger meals. Muse Extension's Freeze It program has been teaching people how to cut back on waste by freezing food and using all parts of their meat and produce. But now that program is expanding to new areas. North Central Regional Center for Rural Development provided a grant to fund 8 Freeze It programs in rural Missouri and facilitate both local and statewide partnerships with waste management groups. Rural communities tend to have higher rates of diet-related illness and have lower access to fresh food. Food waste can end up in landfills and water systems, backing them up with food that could have been used in a new meal or frozen properly. People in Kansas City are acting quickly upon the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, some protesting the actions by the United States and others celebrating what they say feels like a new beginning. Chandler Watkins has more.
Signs reading "No blood for oil" and "U.S. out of the Caribbean" could be seen as chants of no more wars for empires could be heard as the group marched down 3rd Street.
No war in Venezuela! There's a lot more energy here today, and that is true across the country. People in this country are not pro-war. They don't want it.
On the other side of town, Venezuelans living in the metro were shocked at the news.
When people say, oh, you guys are celebrating the invasion of the United States to Venezuela. No, we are not celebrating that. What we are celebrating is that it's the beginning of the end of this system, which is a horrible system.
Many who gathered fled Venezuela years ago, not knowing if they would be able to ever go back. Now, as they sing their national anthem proudly, they feel uncertain but hopeful for the future of their country.
Part of the lyrics of our national anthem is take down the chains of oppression, take down the chains of oppression.
Y te puedo decir que como todo ser humano lo que quiere es libertad.
And as all human beings, the only thing we want is to be free.
Venezuela, mi patria querida. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Setting finance goals as the new year begins. In Consumer Watch, have you made a New Year's resolution yet? How does putting more money in your pocket sound? In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has tips on growing your finances.
It's a hangover that can't be cured in a day. Holiday debt. And it's a financial headache hanging over millions of Americans after the holidays. A recent survey from LendingTree found 37% of respondents racked up holiday debt, averaging around $1,200.
Among the priorities Americans should have for the new year, pay down highest cost debt.
Mark Hamrick with personal finance site Bankrate says paying off debt is the first thing people should do to reset their finances in 2026. Next, he says take a hard look at your monthly spending.
My personal preference would be that somebody probably doesn't allocate more than a third of their monthly income to those kinds of housing-related expenses.
Hamrick says rising energy costs have made utilities more expensive, so housing costs may eat up more of your budget.
The reality for homeowners is that this is a very volatile price environment.
Hamrick says your household should have an emergency fund of at least $1,000. And here's how you can grow your money in the future. Hamrick says to put more money into a high-yield savings account, which can have an annual return of about 4%. So let's crunch some numbers in this Bankrate calculator. If you put $5,000 into an HYSA with a 4% annual return and you contribute $100 a month, in 10 years, you'll have made more than $5,000 just in interest, growing your account to more than $22,000. Also look into certificates of deposit known as CDs. Those accounts also offer a fixed interest rate. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
That's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some patchy, dense fog out there, especially into the Crawford County region. You can see downtown Pittsburgh, some fog. We'll have a full look at your forecast and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries when we come back. Time now, 6:45. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Time for some Monday birthdays. And boy, have we got a list to get to. Starting in Liberal with Kenzie Pingree, celebrating birthday number 5. Says, love you bunches, Mom and Dad. Happy birthday.
And then in Cherryville, Kansas, Lorraine Kate Wan is celebrating birthday number 5. It says, love Grandma and Sparky.
And in Chatopa, I skipped ahead here. Callie Conrad, celebrating birthday number 7. Happy birthday, Callie.
And another birthday number 7 in Columbus, Kansas. Summer Clark celebrating. It says, from your many grandmas, grandpas, Dad, Leo, and Augie, wishing you a great birthday.
And in Girard, Quinn Sisney celebrating birthday number 13 with love from Mom, Dad, Evan, Aiden, Marley, grandparents Hanson and Prettyman.
And in Parsons, Wyatt Hernandez is celebrating birthday number 14. It says, happy birthday, we love you, Mom, Dad, and Ryder.
And in Columbus, Avery Soper celebrating birthday number 18. A very happy birthday to you.
And in Columbus, Macy Messner celebrating birthday number 25. Happy birthday, Macy.
And we have Lucy Reeves celebrating birthday number 40. Happy birthday, Lucy.
And in Crestline, Kansas, Dan Duncan is celebrating birthday number 75. Happy birthday, Dan.
Up to Fort Scott we go with Arla Hartman celebrating one heck of a milestone, birthday number 95. A very happy birthday to you, Arla.
And in Frontenac, Kansas, an anniversary, Greg and Molly Lavelle are celebrating their 16th anniversary. Very happy day to them.
And in Carl Junction, Kelsey Allen celebrating a birthday today, as well as Clinton Allen in CJ. Now, our notes here, it doesn't say if they're related, but I'd be willing to bet there's at least a chance. Either that or it's just a wild coincidence that two folks are celebrating a birthday with the same last name in the same city. Which, don't get me wrong, that can happen. But a very happy birthday to both of you.
Well, in Chanute, Noel Bates is celebrating today. Happy birthday, Noel.
And in Chanute as well, Ryan Olson celebrating, says, we love you, from Brooke, Hazley Joe, Lakin, Mom, Raymond, and Reagan.
Well, it's the day for Chanute birthdays because in Chanute, Phyllis Ullman is celebrating a very special birthday today, too.
All right, now for the next part of our list, we've got Thomas Porter in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 33.
And in Crestline, Garrett Mercer celebrating birthday number 33.
Also in Crestline, Ann Wells celebrating birthday number 97.
And in Galena, Lena Royster is celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Lena.
All right, and this is where it gets fun. The party absolutely in the bus today. The next, 5 birthdays are all from Columbus. Laura Leroy celebrating a birthday today.
Dennis Layson celebrating another year wiser.
Jeanette Crane also celebrating a birthday.
And Amanda Tanner is also celebrating.
All of them in Columbus. So I have a weird feeling there's going to be some kind of major celebration. Lori's making a great dessert you can catch on Fox at 7 a.m. that could probably go with this celebration. It should be a big party in Columbus. Last but not least, we have Mary Ann Morgan in Branson celebrating another year wiser as well. A very happy birthday and anniversary to all of you on our list. And of course, that's a pretty big list without any photos, and we do absolutely love those photos. So if you'd like to celebrate with us, Samantha, whom I just for a moment forgot her name. I don't know how or why, but she's here.
Humbled.
Oh my. And she's got some information for you while I gather my thoughts.
Yes, if you have somebody who you know their name, you can send those birthdays or anniversaries as well as a photo of them to this email you can see on their screen, birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. But do make sure you pay attention to that deadline so we can get it in plenty of time.
Absolutely. I've told you folks before, I mean, there's a reason why in our teleprompter here, what you can't see at home is it says, good morning, welcome to the KOAM Morning News, yada, yada. It says, and I'm Chris Warner. It specifically says that because if it didn't, I become Ron Burgundy sometimes. If it's not there, I'm not reading it. I don't know. I don't know what my name is sometimes. Boy, what a Monday. But remember, it's National Thank God It's Monday Day because it's supposed to set the pace for any number of Mondays through the rest of the year. So hopefully yours is off to a great start. Hopefully it's going to be a great one. Even if it's not off to a great start, do like we've been doing this morning. Go, that's all right then, because we're going to make it. Take a look, though. Dense fog we got to talk about. Most of Crawford County, northern Cherokee, western Barton County, Pittsburgh now under a half-mile visibility. So that's a big stretch of 69 as well. Slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. And just be cautious, again, for those rapidly changing visibilities if you're coming into Crawford County. We also have reduced visibility for the most part along and north of I-44 from Oklahoma back to Missouri. This is where our fog has been, so do be cautious if you're heading out this morning. Future track, we're going to have clear to partly cloudy skies, and it's going to be pretty breezy today. Winds are already starting to pick up a bit now, and they're going to continue to increase as we head through the day. Otherwise, a warm and dry day for us. Again, clear to partly cloudy as we go late tonight into tomorrow, and that will be the case throughout our Thursday as well with those clear to partly cloudy skies. And then as we head into Wednesday, we'll have those clouds begin increasing. Once we get, say, after 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, they'll gradually begin to increase across the area, eventually setting the stage for some shower and thunderstorm chances. So we could get an isolated shower or storm late Wednesday evening, but then we start heading into Thursday, and let's say maybe after about 8 a.m. or so, that's when we're going to start seeing opportunity for some scattered showers, thunderstorms, bringing some actual rain to the area, which will certainly help with our drought situation as we get closer to the end of the week. Starting our day, mid-40s out there, mid-50s by 11 a.m. Then look at your forecast here in just a moment. moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., look up. Hope you are, because we're checking out a supermoon and a meteor shower that will be visible this weekend. That and more at 7 a.m. Once again, we are looking at a very spring-like day, mid-upper 60s out there. South winds 10 to 20, gusting to 30, so do keep that in mind. Southwest winds tonight ease up by that much. Sustained 5 to 15, gusting to 25, and we're going to fall back into the upper 40s. As we go down the road, 60s will continue through Thursday. Cold front comes in. Could get some scattered storms late Wednesday, and then Thursday, a few more thunderstorm chances. Still iffy on any stronger storms, but we are keeping an eye on that for you. But at least the positive is it looks like a few more of us will actually get some meaningful rainfall, which will be good for our drought situation.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making baked eggplant parmigiana in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings, where they're going to have the latest on the capture and arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Details of the operation and how much of it was about seizing the country's oil.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where only local morning news continues. This morning, Lori Langley joins us to show us a sweet new recipe.
And we're going to introduce you to a Kansas City man attracting attention for his art. It's a clever change to a stereotype that humans have towards being the things that are out of this world. We're going to have a look at that. That's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
We'll see you today at noon.